something I've learned is that a lot of people don't realize that comedians know how to not be comedians off stage. Like, some people just think we're always set to clown mode or something. Because a few years ago, my mom got sick and she was in the hospital for part of the time. And 3 weeks in, her doctor turns to me and goes, "So I heard you're a comedian." And I was like, "Yeah, I am." He goes, "Oh, just surprises me because I don't really get a funny vibe from you." And I was like, "Well, my mom's still in the hospital after 3 weeks, so I'm not really getting a great doctor vibe." I can be petty off the clock too, bitch. I will do it for free. Also, what does a funny vibe look like to this guy? We're in a hospital. You think I'm gonna walk through the waiting room honking boobs like, hee 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 hee? People are bleeding out. You gotta clock out sometimes. But here's the thing. When my mom was in the hospital, she ended up getting diagnosed with dementia, which has, of course, been the most heartbreaking thing to go through. But she is so smart and so funny that even with dementia, she's still pretty crafty, like still tries to prank people. So she and my brother were talking. He thought it was going well. And then all of a sudden, she just starts shouting, "Nurse! Nurse!" And my brother's like, "Oh my God, Mom, I'm right here. What do you need?" The nurses come running in. They're like, "Kathy, oh my God, what's going on?" And my mom just goes, "Look how handsome my son is." I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind? You cannot be the mom who cried hot son. You're gonna get kicked out of the home. Because now I feel like next time she actually needs help, the nurse is just gonna pop her head around from 50 feet away and be like, "Oh, let me guess, Kathy, is your daughter funny? Is that what you're screaming at us for?" It'd be so great if she was like, "She's okay." Not really get a funny vibe from her. Just want some apple juice. I have to tell you guys something that just happened. My cousin and I visited my mom, and we thought that my mom had fallen asleep. So my cousin decided to tell me that she just took her 2 high school nieces out to dinner, and her nieces are obsessed with mukbang videos. You guys know what mukbang videos are? Okay, if you don't know, it's this big trend on YouTube. People order massive quantities of food, and they eat them on camera. So her nieces love these mukbang videos, and they're at dinner, and one of her nieces cleans her plate so fast. And my cousin looks at her and goes, "Wow, Bailey, you should do your own bukkake videos." And her niece went white in the face, which is very funny if you know what bukkake is. Remember that .12 resting blood alcohol? Such a delayed reaction. Oh, fuck. Yeah. I can also tell that some of you do not know what bukkake is. And honestly, you're better people for it. You are more pure of heart. Okay. A Midwest mom just went... If you want to find out what it is, give it a Google later. Don't do it at work. You'll get fired. It is a finishing move in the world of porn. And I'm like dying laughing at this story. And then all of a sudden, my mom goes, "I've done bukkake once." And my cousin and I were like, "No, no, 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 no. Do not say that word in the home. I promise it is not whatever you think it is. It's not some fitness class you took at the YMCA." I'm sure my mom was just sitting there listening like, "Oh, well, Zumba was full that one day, so I think I popped over to bukkake." It's like, "No, you did not. No, you did not. Nope, you never did that." And here's the thing. I always take really good care of my mom, but I took extra good care of her that day because I was like, those cannot be your last words. Don't you dare. And this is strange, but my entire family and I, including my mom, are actually world champion foosball players. Yeah, thank you. And my mom is in the Foosball Hall of Fame. Yeah. But every time my mom gets a new nurse, the nurse will always ask her about her life. And my mom always goes, well, I'm in the Foosball Hall of Fame. And every nurse goes, sure you are. Mm-hmm. And I'm always standing there like, oh, yeah, no, I know that sounds made up, but I swear it's real. And the nurse is like, hey, you don't have to. And I'm like, lady, I swear to God, I can show you her trophies, I can show you a video of her playing. And that's when the nurse starts to look at the other nurses like, oh, does the daughter have dementia too? It's like a T-Mobile family plan of dementia. It's like too weird to believe. And my mom growing up was also somebody you did not want to cross. My parents got divorced in the 90s, back when there were home phone answering machines. And before the divorce, our answering machine message was my dad saying, you've reached the Cooks, please leave us a message. And then after the divorce, my mom had changed it to her just blasting Alanis Morissette's You Oughta Know. So every time my dad would call, my mom would let it go to the machine so that if he wanted to leave a message for her, every time, he first had to sit through the lyrics, and I'm here to remind you of the mess you left when you went away. I mean, that's a bad bitch move right there. That takes balls. Because it's not like that was just the message for when my dad called. That was the message for literally anybody who called our house. So after a while, we started to get messages from people like, hey, this is Dave from Blockbuster. And, I'm here to remind you. Your Space Jam VHS is overdue. Really sorry about whatever you're going through. And long before my mom had dementia, she had retired from teaching, and she had taken on some interesting retirement hobbies. She had started to screenshot the selfies I would post on Instagram, and then she would print them out and go to Kohl's and buy those 30-photo collage frames and frame my selfies. But I didn't know she was doing this until I visited home one day, and I just walked into a museum. Of my narcissism. And my mom crept up behind me. She was like, do you love it? What is this, a haunted house? This is fucking horrifying. I'll never take a selfie again. This is like an intervention. But here's the thing. Nobody had taught my mom how to crop a screenshot. So all of these printed, framed photos show her phone battery percentage. if somebody texted her as she took the screenshot, it's up there. There's a framed photo somewhere of my face with a text from my ex to my mom like, your daughter just shit in a box.